got her brains blown out. They did that outside of Macintosh Dairy. And
So her brains got blown out by was it a weapon? Like
yeah, Joseph Michael Lopez blew her brains out with
with
her
a
boyfriend's
shotgun?
9 millimeter, 9
9 millimeter.
millimeter, yeah,
Blow.
Luger Parabellum.
So that's the thing. How could they say it was you? But literally,
Well, it
literally, the
wasn't.
police can get a bullet
It wasn't
placed.
just that. It's the fact that her and her friends made my life a living hell for a whole year before Joseph Lopez killed her. Joseph Lopez is in prison for blowing her brains out. It's not like they
Not
didn't
on
catch
death
the
row.
guy that did it.
Is he not on death row?
No, fucking, in order to get him on death row, they would have had to refuse to give him a plea deal, and that would have meant that they'd have had to take it to court. If they'd have took it to court, then a lot of police officers would have gone to prison. And not for what Joseph Lopez did, but for what they did to me, because you can't hide that shit in court. There's also the fact that Lopez did some pretty fucked up shit that they didn't want the family to have to hear about. Fucking creepers. That's what them selfies are. Them selfies are the devil. You know, people take pictures. People take pictures of what they care the most about. So the more pictures she takes of herself, the more you should probably tank it and run. You know what tanking it means, right? In World War II, they used to have drop tanks. And when you see an enemy and they're trying to engage you in a dogfight, you drop your tank so you can run.
Like a drop tank.
Yeah.
It's a fuel tank that they have on an aircraft to supply fuel for a certain amount of time you're traveling. And then they drop the tank with the suit out of the tank.
Yep.
I know exactly how it works.
Well, in World War II, they did that. They dropped the tank as soon as they got into an engagement. Sometimes you wanted to cut it and run. Yeah.
And more maneuverability too.
Yeah, at that point, when somebody's on your ass, you just want to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was making a series on my YouTube channel about different RPGs and rockets they're used in Ukraine. I figured getting me something to do while I'm stuck in my car with no friends. On the bright side, sometimes y'all come out here and you're entertaining. The guy I usually hope will come out here is Dallas.
Oh, Dallas Culver.
Yep.
You know that there's a rumor going around that he raped little girls.
Really?
Oh, I'm dead serious. I'm like 100% not joking.
Well, if the victims have names, and that's something that go before the court. I haven't seen him in like, God, over a month now.
Never around with one fighter.
He might be working. If they were trying to do something like that, that'd be pretty public.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, there's been girls that have been raped. Well, not raped by him, but he's fucked a lot of minors, and they've turned him into the police, and the police haven't done anything about it. They just take a report, and they never do anything about it.
Well, that also depending on the state that you're in, on the age of consent.
Oregon is 18, and if you're above 18, you're lower than 18, considered illegal.
Really?
Rape.
Well, they've got statutory rape in most states. In Nebraska and Colorado, it has to be. She can give consent at 15, but there can't be more than a 7-year difference. If there's more than a 7-year difference, then it's not. But the way I look at it, it's gross either way. Like, I don't really care if she's 17, 16, 15, 14. I don't care what the legal age of consent is. I'm not fucking interested. Yeah, that's a big thing. Like, on my YouTube channel, I talk about who it is that takes the abuse, who it is that's most likely to commit the crimes. Like, all right, and when it comes to killing children, 31% of the time when it's a violent death, 31% of the time it's the mother that killed the child, and 31% of the time it's the father that killed the child. That's 62% of the time it's one of the parents.
That makes me fucking sick. But they own, like, okay, so the child that you love, like, you're out of your fucking mind, and you just kill them. Like, what's going through your head to fucking kill your own child? Like, I don't understand.
That's what I was afraid Ted did. I exposed him for raping Natalie and doing a lot of other fucked up shit, trying to kill his ex-wives. Yeah, that guy's a fucking evil son of a bitch.
Oh, is it the one who blew it? That Ted is the one who blew it out?
No, Ted's her dad.
Ted's your dad?
Yeah, Ted's the guy. Dude, I fucking exposed her like, I exposed her dad like 2 weeks before she got her brains blown out.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, it's even worse than that. Like, I've exposed a lot of child molesters, a lot of rapists. Over 20 of the public officials and or police officers that I tried to turn in are now in jail or have been incarcerated. Oh, dude. You should look up Sarah Nelson, Lincoln Correction Center. Then look up Michelle Decini.
Oh, those are correction officers?
Yep. And then you can look up Polly Olson. She was the county treasurer in Chapel, Nebraska. Like, there's a lot of them. There's also, do what?
What are things they did?
Well, that's why I'm saying you should look the names up. You should see what they did. You can read all about it in the actual news. It was in actual mainstream news. Sarah Nelson Torciello, Lincoln, Nebraska. Just type Sarah Nelson, Lincoln, Nebraska. It'll pop up. In my car, I got paperwork. It's got her signature on it. Yeah, they're called disciplinaries.
Oh.
Yeah. What do they do in Nebraska when you tell on chimos? Press false charges on you and send you to prison. You know what's really messed up? In Nebraska, you don't have to commit a felony to go to prison. They have what's called the county safety program. So if your county is small, like Jewell County, and you get arrested, they can send you to prison and have the prison hold on to you for safekeeping for the county. And then they just take all your rights away because you're not technically a Lincoln inmate. You're not technically a prison inmate. You're a Jewell County inmate. Yeah, I wasn't even charged with felonies. I was charged with misdemeanors, and they had to drop them all. That's crazy. You have one. God, you suck. All right, you're not a god.
Even though I can't. Fire department, I like to smoke or do drugs. You can only
And caffeine.
Caffeine is considered a drug.
So you can't drink coffee, but you could get boozed the fuck up.
You can drink
Jesus
coffee.
Christ.
You can drink coffee.
But you can't smoke cigarettes?
Some of mine, that's why.
Ah. Whoa. I thought you said that you was over 18.
That's not me. I am 18 in 2 weeks late, so that is okay.
But now I'm feeling a little bit scared and a little afraid and unprotected. I'm gonna go back to my car, but come back in 2 weeks when you're old enough to talk to me like an adult.
Okay.
You rock.
Thank you.
The PRIG. What is this? It's a cookie launcher. Oh. Also, it launches cookies out the back. Out the front, you can fire just about any kind of projectile that you manufacture yourself. They used some homemade shape charges in soup cans. That's some ingenuity there. But if you take a look at the Stellgranat, the German stick grenades, those are actually basically the same thing. It's a fucking soup can. A soup can on a stick. It's just a hollow stick. It's also something that people can make easily today. You don't have to have a pineapple grenade. A can with shrapnel is good enough. A little bit of a charge in it. Anyway, this is what's called an improvised device. And there's a bunch of different names depending on how you assemble it, what it is in specific. Like, if it's a roadside bomb, then it's an improvised roadside bomb. You're making that out of household materials. Alright, good. Only 4 more cars until I don't have to worry about them tearing around until 2 o'clock in the morning. Then I can lay down and get some sleep. Alright, so the PRIG is well, it's a black powder charge, and it's more of the Davis recoilless rifle design. That's the one from 1910 that has a counterweighted charge. And the Davis gun, some of the diagrams show that it used lead shot, and some of them show that it used iron powder. I would hope it isn't rusty iron powder, because then you've made a thermobaric. And that's fucking scary as hell. So I highly recommend that you do not use anything like rust as a counterweight, or as a counter, basically as blast dispersion. I highly recommend not using anything that's rusty or can get rusty, because that'll literally kill the user, and that's not a good idea. They are using these in Ukraine. There are people making these. There are some of them that are being mounted on, smaller drones. This is all stuff that I've spoken about on my channel before. I spoke out on my YouTube before I had a channel, though, about using RC stuff. Using it to basically take out military targets, and that's exactly what they're doing. How much are those tanks? And how much are those civilian drones that they're using? Are they throwing around a bunch of EMPs out there? Oh, hell no. The Russians ain't got their shit shielded either. Cash fire type LMFAO, why are you awake? Aren't you tired? Well, I'm over here at the parking lot, but Tillamook Sporting Goods, and a lot of youngins that have vehicles, you know, the ones that have really big vehicles, they make noises pretty late, so ain't no such thing as getting sleep. Sometimes if I talk to them for a few minutes, then they get bored and they leave. Most of the time, though, it's not like tonight. The video I made right before this one, they got pretty rambunctious and just wanted to talk about some pretty perverted stuff, so I eventually got bored with it and left. Obviously, people honking, it doesn't make it easy to go to sleep. Obviously, it also doesn't mean that I hate them or anything of that nature. I've been hearing some stuff about folks I know here in town that, of course, I do pay attention. What the fuck? Eli, are you in that car back there honking at me? Anyway, one of the things I've been trying to show here is the corruption of the police here in the United States. But that's not what this video is about, is it? It's about a RPG type system that was created by the Irish Republican Army. And what they used was, I guess it's some sort of dietary cracker. Basically, it sounds like a brand bar to me. Cash fire type LMFAO. No, I'm home trying to sleep. Well, why the fuck are you watching my channel if you're trying to sleep? You know what's going on while you're watching my channel? You're having to listen to people honk their fucking horns or try to show off how loud their glass packs are. That's what goes on my channel this late at night. That and really bad jokes. Cash fire type because you're so interesting. I really am. Do they really need attention that badly? Oh. There's the chair. So, what do you think? Why am I not getting any sleep? I guess I could talk to you about the PRIG. The PRIG is a pretty common rocket launcher nowadays just because people realized after the PRIG how easy it is to do it at home. Well, as long as you live in a rural area.
Sorry, Sean. She won't stop. You don't mean to disturb you.
It don't matter. I don't get to go to sleep anyway. I got another feller here in Tillamook. He's typing to me on my YouTube channel. All I wanted to talk about was rocket-propelled grenades and how to make them at home. And you're ruining the good surprise.
Yeah. Go talk to them too.
No, I'm not. I'm just gonna walk over there and try to find some tobaccos in the ashtrays.
Alright.
I figure y'all are gonna make noises anyway.
Yeah.
Probably until about 2 o'clock in the morning. Wait, it's a It's a weeknight. You guys might only be out here till midnight.
Yeah.
All right, nighty night. Anyway, the PRIG, it had about a 3-pound warhead, a little over a 3-pound warhead, and about a 3-pound bag of crackers behind it, or a bag of cookies. Now, the black powder charge is set in between the cookies and the charge that's going out the front end. So all of your smashed up cookies blow out the back like confetti, and of course your explosive goes flying forward, or your projectile goes flying forward. Oh yes, I found one! Cancer! That's weird. It doesn't have a label on it of any sort. It's a mystery cigarette. I found me a mystery cigarette. Obviously, I try to keep my evenings occupied with not sitting alone in my vehicle, stuck with my own thoughts, because, you know, I spend a lot of time by myself. I also get ostracized, criticized, bullied, beaten. Also, if you watch the video before this one, you know that I'm pretty darn good at walking away. I'm also good at setting boundaries. And if my boundaries aren't followed, I can walk away. And that's an important thing to be able to do. But also, it depends on your situation. Sometimes people are not going to let you walk away. They're just not going to let you. They heard a rumor and now they want to hurt you, and so on and so on. It happens. When you falsely accuse somebody of rape, murder, child molestation, or beating their wife, you're intentionally trying to destroy somebody's life. Cash Fire typed, I love your vids, LOL. Well, thank you, Eli. Hopefully before too long I'll be able to go to sleep myself. Hopefully nobody's fucking around with my vehicle right now, but I'm not over by it, so I wouldn't know. I don't know who those youngins are, but they're all too young to be talking to for certain. The couple of them that were old enough to be talking to that I was looking for, not here. There's a couple other ones here that are old enough to talk to, but they're not mature enough, really. So let's get back to the PRIG. The designs and specifications for all of the rockets that I'm telling you about are on the internet. I mean, you can type up specifications and it'll line up all the specifications, how heavy it is, how heavy the warhead is, how many pounds of charge it has in it, and in some of them it'll even tell you what the mix is. When it comes to defending yourself, you don't have to do everything with guns. There's lots of things that you can do. Well, in case of insurrection, things that might become necessary. Defending your friends and family might be about the most important thing to you. There are some people that are willing to give up their lives for their loved ones, and there are some people that just straight don't give a shit. They're all into self-preservation. Now with the IRA, that's the Irish Republican Army. Oh, here's some trash. Fuck it. I'll keep it. It looks cool. The Irish Republican Army was fighting to have their own nation, their own independence. Not have their lives stuffed by the jolly old Church of England. There's finally a ceasefire, I believe, in 1996, and it's been relatively peaceful since then. The thing about these PRIGs is that these things can literally sit in a closet for 20, 30, 40 years and still work. The same thing with a lot of the RPGs. It ain't just the homemade ones. A lot of the stuff made by Russians was made to last. A lot of the stuff that they made right after World War II, like immediately afterward, was rush production. But after the initial rush, they started producing quality. Very good quality, might I add. Now, compared to Western cars, are their cars any better than ours? No, not really. Are any of ours better than theirs? Some of them, yeah, I guess so. But for the most part, I mean, what were they building for and what were we building for? The RPG-7 is kind of it's not the Rolls Royce, it's the Model T of the RPG world. It's not the gold standard, it's just the one that there's the most of. Over 7 million RPG-7s have been made worldwide. I believe that statistic might be old. I don't believe they make RPG-7s anymore in Russia, but why would they? They've got modern and newer systems. Also, the RPG-7 is not a fire and forget weapon. It's not like the LAW, the light anti-tank weapon, just LAW. That thing was tiny. It only had a 3-inch projectile that came out of it. The whole thing overall was only like 21 inches, completely folded out. It wasn't really good for anything, even a modern armored personnel carrier would be able to shrug it off. Of course, we're looking at how a lot of the different charges are affecting explosive reactive armor. We're getting to see how something like the PRIG, yeah, maybe one of them won't do any good, but you set up 10 or 15 of them, you don't even have to be there. We're looking at these drones that are dropping Russian ordnance on Russian troops. We've got little RC cars that are darting in and about. Are the Russians bothering with trying to block regular radio control channels? Nope. And that was supposed to be what the Russians were so good at. Making sure that, yeah, America's got all this technology, but what good is their technology if you can jam it? Sometimes the simplest method is the best method. When it comes to the production of the RPG-2s and later on the RPG-7s, they were produced in Russia with excellent quality. But them PRIGs, they'll do the job. You just got to get a bit closer. And the guy that was firing his PRIG, he made one that was a shortened version. And I'll probably show his next. I'll make his number 7. I know this one was a bit long because there was some people in it, but they were talking about some things that I felt were important to record. Not just for my safety, but also for theirs. I mean, here in Tillamook, just like any other small town, people are going to run their mouths, but some of that mouth running and getting some people killed. And some people think that something should be illegal that's actually not. So it's important to look up the laws and know your laws in the local area. Me, personally, I'm not into little kids, so I don't have to worry about that issue. Well, except that I do. I have a penis. So anybody who's pissed off at me could throw any kind of wild accusations out there. And rumors are good enough in a small town to destroy somebody's life. I'm tired of my friends, my loved ones getting killed over bullshit. Over things that never happened. Or over things that they didn't do. I'm tired of a lot of these druggy women who didn't start off as druggy women. They started off as gold diggers. But then when it turned out that the rich guys weren't keeping them, it turned into self-pity and self-destruction. A lot of them end up on streets out here with us. We do our best to take care of them to begin with. But eventually it gets to the point that, well, you have to wean the kids off you. Even if they're grown-ass adults. Sometimes when you've walked around with a grown adult to every service that there is in Boulder, Colorado for 2 full weeks, sometimes after you've done that, they know where the services are and they can go in alone. But it depends on the services. Some of these services, they need somebody to go in with them every time. Or at least make phone calls with them. The PRIG was a last-ditch measure for desperation. People don't like being bossed around by people that are different from them. How many of you Americans would be fine with being bossed around by a Muslim? How many of you would be fine with being bossed around by somebody from China or from North Korea? What the PRIG represents is the same thing as many of the weapons that were used during revolutions in China, North Korea, and even Japan. agricultural weapons. All the stuff that's used to make a PRIG could be made in your fucking garage. You could literally make one of those in the closet. I mean, a literal closet. It don't even take special farm equipment. If you lived on a farm, you could manufacture RPGs all day long. That's why I'm surprised that with all these meth farms out there, nobody's made an RPG farm. Or a little RC drone. Using the little RC cars from like Walmart. You know, the little cheap ones they got on sale right after Christmas. $9.99, $7.99, and you're going, well, this thing will carry a 2 to 3 pound charge, no problem. A lot of people tell me, oh, Sean, well, you know, whatever you think of, that's what's going to happen. The reason that it happens is because you think about it. I'm like, really? So if somebody punches me in the face, it's my fault because I thought about it? Well, what if I wasn't thinking about them punching me in the face? What if they just did it? There's a couple of people in Boulder, Colorado. I was glad to see them. This is in between when in between when I left Virginia and when Natalie died. There's a couple of people I thought would be good. You know, they'd be glad to see me, but that's not the way it works when you go spreading rumors. Them kind of rumors get people killed. Anyway, I'm gonna try to get some sleep. This is a long one, but, well, as you can tell, it was gonna be about the PRIG, but it ended up being about youngins fucking honking. So I went over there to try to get myself some tobaccos and also see if there was any grown-ass goddamn adults over there. There were, just they're barely adults. So it doesn't improve the situation much.